D6. To make, to let.
개하다, 개.
So that's source, howtostudykorean.com. Below is a list of vocabularies to be used in this lesson. Nouns.
부전공,
Means minor, in university.
형식,
Means form, formality, format.
진로,
Means one's career path.
과정,
Means process.
축제,
Means festival.
목록,
Means list, inventory.
상점,
Means store.
시야,
Means one's field of vision.
도구,
Means tools.
햇빛,
Means sunlight. Verbs.
도달하다,
Means to arrive, to reach.
식다,
Means to load.
둘러보다,
Means to look around.
들여다보다,
Means to look into.
내다보다,
Means to look out of.
노크하다,
Means to knock.
성취하다,
Means to accomplish.
사다,
Means to wrap up.
마치다,
Means to guess correctly.
끼다,
Means to put on, a ring, gloves, sunglasses, etc.
깨다,
Means to wake up, passive verbs.
사이다,
Means to be wrapped up, adjectives.
날씬하다,
Means to be slim slender, adverbs and other words.
더욱,
Means more and more. Introduction. In this lesson, you will learn how to say one makes or one lets a person to do an action. Just like with a lot of other Korean grammatical principles, this one doesn't make sense at first to English speakers, simply because the construction is so different from English grammar. As always, I will break it down for you step by step. Let's get started. To make, to let.
개하다,
Before we begin, note that the word to make has many meanings in English. In this lesson, we are not talking about the definition of to make as it refers to building something. Instead, we are talking about the definition of the word make in the following sentence. I make my mom happy. Note here that this definition of make has nothing to do with actually making an object. Rather, it is about influencing telling somebody what to do. Here are more examples of this usage in English. I made him study. I want to make my friend leave. I will make him sleep. Korean people don't distinguish between making a person doing something and letting a person doing something. It sounds weird to an English speaker, but the Korean translations for the above sentences would be the same as the Korean translations for the following sentences. I let him study. I want to let my friend leave. I will let him sleep. English learners see this grammatical principle, which I haven't even introduced to you yet, and get hung up on the fact it can mean to make or to let. How can one thing in Korean translate to two seemingly different things in English? Just a quick note. We see this same phenomenon many times when we compare English and Korean. You saw something similar when you learned about
아어야 하다,
Lesson 46, and how it can be translated to one must or one should. Remember, these languages are vastly different, and just because something is done in English, doesn't mean the same principle will apply in Korean. Let me introduce this grammatical principle to you with one simple example. To create this meaning of to make or to let, you can attach
개하다,
to the stem of a word. The subject of the sentence makes lets the object do that action. For example,
나는 그를 공부하게 했다.
two common English translations for this Korean sentence would be, I made him study. I let him study. I'd like to discuss why the translations of to make and or to let are used in this situation. In English, the word to make is more related to forcing a person to do an action, whereas to let is more related to allowing a person to do an action. In both cases, the subject is doing something, either forcing or allowing, that, in the end, influences causes the person to do the action. The Korean usage does not distinguish between forcing or allowing. It simply indicates that the subject is something, regardless of it was by forcing or allowing, that causes influences the rest of the clause to occur. Therefore, a more accurate translation might be,
나는 그를 공부하게 했다.
I did something that influenced him to study. Therefore, it's not that.
개하다,
Can have two translations, but rather that the meanings of make and let are very specific, and both of these meanings can be encompassed in the idea that one influences the action to occur. Let's look at many more examples. I'll use the word make or let often depending on the context, but try to remember that the usage of these words is more of an English phenomenon that isn't distinguished in these Korean sentences.
저는 그를 자게 할 거예요.
I will let him sleep.
학생들은 선생님을 화나게 했어요.
The students made the teacher mad.
저는 학생들을 바로 준비하게 했어요.
I made the students get ready right away.
저는 아들을 오늘 아침에 일찍 일어나게 했어요.
I made our son wake up early today.
저는 딸을 상점에서 조금 더 둘러보게 했어요.
I'm going to let my daughter look around the store a little bit more.
제가 축제에 가게 해 주세요.
Please let me go to the festival.
저는 학생들을 공부하게 해 주었어요.
I let the students study. In the previous two examples, I attached
주다.
to.
게 하다.
In lesson 41, you learned the purpose and meaning of using.
주다.
Assuming that the action is somehow positive or beneficial for the person being influenced, it is acceptable to attach
주다.
to the end of.
게 하다.
To a relative beginner of Korean grammar, at lesson 56, you could call yourself that. This might look complicated, but it's just the meaning of.
주다.
Added on top of.
게 하다.
Can also be added to adjectives. When used like this, the subject causes influences the object to be the adjective used. For example,
저는 저의 여자친구를 행복하게 했어요.
I made my girlfriend happy. Or,
저는 저의 여자친구를 행복하게 해 주었어요.
I made my girlfriend happy. A common adjective that this is used with is,
놀라다.
which translates to be surprised, by attaching
게 하다.
to.
놀라다.
You can indicate that one did something to cause influence somebody to be surprised. This can more simply be translated to one surprised somebody. For example,
제가 한국말을 할 수 있어서 저는 한국 사람들을 항상 놀라게 해요.
because I can speak Korean, I always surprise Korean people.
엄마가 저에게 선물을 줘서 저를 놀라게 했어요.
Because my mother gave me a present, she surprised me. Here are more examples of
게 하다.
use with adjectives.
저는 우리 엄마를 슬프게 했어요.
I made our mom sad.
아기를 무섭게 하지 마세요.
Don't make the baby scared. Don't scare the baby.
아빠는 저를 피곤하게 했어요.
Dad made me tired.
저의 남자친구가 저의 기분을 상하게 했어요.
My boyfriend made me feel bad, made me ruin my feelings.
내가 그렇게 말하면 나를 창피하게 할 거야.
If you say it like that, you're going to make me ashamed.
손님들이 우리 집에 오면 저는 항상 손님들을 편하게 하려고 노력해요.
When guests come to our house, I always try to make them comfortable.
저는 잘생긴 친구를 데려가서 저의 남자친구를 질투하게 했어요.
I brought a handsome man with me, so it made my boyfriend jealous. In the sentences so far, you have seen examples where the subject causes influences another person to do an action or be an adjective. Oftentimes you might want to create a sentence where the subject causes influences another person to act on another object. For example, instead of just saying, I made him study, you might want to say, I made him study Korean. In these situations,
이가,
can be attached to the person you are influencing, and
을,
can be attached to the object that the person is acting on. For example,
나는 그를 공부하게 했다.
I made him study.
나는 그가 한국어를 공부하게 했다.
I made him study Korean.
나는 그를 이해하게 했다.
I made him understand.
나는 그가 한국어 문법을 이해하게 했다.
I made him understand Korean grammar. Below are many more examples.
나는 학생들이 내 말을 듣게 했어.
I made the students listen to me.
저는 남편이 결혼 반지를 끼게 했어요.
I made my husband wear the wedding ring.
그 날씬한 여자가 저를 좋아하게 하고 싶어요.
I want to make that thin girl like me.
저는 학생이 더 좋은 부전공을 선택하게 했어요.
I made the student select a better minor.
저는 엄마가 저를 위해 도시락을 싸게 했어요.
I made my mom pack wrap up a lunchbox for me.
노동자들이 박스를 트럭에 싣게 했어요.
I made the workers load the boxes onto the truck.
저는 학생들이 이 형식을 따르게 했어요.
I made the students follow this format.
저는 햇빛이 안 들어오게 했어요.
I made it so the sunlight won't come in.
저는 친구가 그 이상한 집을 들여다보게 했어요.
I made my friend look into that weird house.
저는 우리 아들이 다른 진로를 고르게 할 거예요.
I'm going to make our son choose a different career path.
저는 학생들이 정답을 맞힐 때까지 계속해 보게 했어요.
I let the students keep trying until they guessed correctly.
저는 선수가 자기 한계에 도달할 때까지 계속 운동하게 했어요.
I made the athlete keep going until he reached his limit. In all of the examples you have seen so far,
하다,
is used immediately after.
게,
Let's look at how we use something else other than
하다,
after.
게,
So that, in order to allow for.
게,
Earlier in the lesson, I introduced the purpose and meaning of using.
게 하다,
In a sentence, I explained that
게 하다,
is used when the subject is in action, regardless of it was by forcing or allowing. That causes influences the action adjective to occur. In all of the examples you have seen so far, you don't know specifically what the action was that causes influences the action adjective to occur. You have seen that
하다,
is used in these sentences, but this is because it isn't implied what is done to cause influence the action adjective to occur. It is possible to place another verb or better yet, an entire clause after
게,
to indicate what causes influences the action to occur. Let's look at a simple example.
선생님은 제가 칠판을 보게 했어요.
This could be translated to, the teacher made me look at the board, or the teacher let me look at the board, or more generally the teacher did something that caused influenced me to look at the board. In this example, it isn't implied what was done to cause influence make let me look at the board. All we know is the teacher did some action. However, I can specify what the teacher did by replacing
하다,
with another verb clause that provides more information. For example,
선생님은 제가 칠판을 보게 불을 켰어요.
just like when
하다,
is used after,
게,
the clause after
게 불을 켰어요.
causes or influences the clause before
게,
to occur. A common translation for
게,
in this type of sentence is so that. Below are many examples.
제가 잘 들을 수 있게 크게 말해 주세요.
Please speak loudly so that I can hear you well.
음식을 좀 만들게 재료를 사와.
Buy some ingredients so that I can make some food.
아기가 깨지 않게 조용히 노크해 주세요.
Knock quietly so that the baby doesn't wake up.
도구를 찾을 수 있게 불을 켰어요.
I turned on the light so that I could find my tools.
저는 학생들이 다 이해할 수 있게 설명했어요.
I explained it so that all the students could understand it.
햇빛이 안 들어오게 커튼을 내려주세요.
Pull the curtains down so that the sunlight doesn't come in.
뒤에 있는 차가 저의 시야에 있게 거울을 조금 움직였어요.
I moved the mirror a little bit so that the cars behind me would be in my field of vision.
저는 학생들이 과정을 더 잘 이해할 수 있게 저는 다시 설명해 주었어요.
I explained it again to the students so that they could understand the process better.
무엇을 사야 되는지를 깜빡하지 않게 목록을 작성하세요.
Make a list so that you don't forget what you have to buy.
선생님들은 학생들이 목표를 성취하게 하기 위해 열심히 일해요.
Teachers work hard so that students can achieve their goals. The following is from the Intermediate Topic Test, number 27.
사람들이 모두 보게 안내문을 벽에 붙였다.
I posted, attached, an information sign on the wall so that all the people can see it. The question was asking if the following two sentences have the same meaning.
사람들이 모두 보게 안내문을 벽에 붙였다. and 사람들이 모두 보도록 안내문을 벽에 붙였다.
At this point, you have yet to learn about
도록.
but when you learn about it in lesson 92 you will see that the two sentences above have the same meaning. That's it for this lesson. We will continue to talk about this meaning of to make to let in the next lesson. For more info, please visit howtostudiokorean.com.